Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, over the next 10 days, we've been talking about this in the last update or two. We'll continue to watch a lot of cold air spilling from the northwest into the Canadian Prairie and kind of locking itself in here as we get to the 10-day time frame here by mid-January. We've got the opportunity for some snow, some accumulating snow across parts of the prairie here, especially midweek, and then potentially over the weekend, but then transitioning to a rather quiet pattern as we get into the day 7 through 14 time frame. Looking at the satellite picture here this morning, we do have a lot of moisture being pumped in from the Pacific with strong onshore flow. Again, a little wave embedded within that. That's going to lead to the potential for some snow accumulating here as we get into the later parts of the week. Looking at the radar right now, some very light snow possible, and that will continue off to primarily the north of the prairie here, areas north of the Highway 16 corridor here as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. The better chance for accumulating snow across the primary prairie region comes in here midweek. So just looking at the next 24 to 48 hours from the high resolution Canadian model, there is the first round of snow sneaking its way out of here Monday into Monday night. And then we start to watch this next area of moisture appearing here at the end of the loop. This is our midweek snow that could then track across the remainder of the prairie here south of Highway 16. So looking at the jet stream at this point, here's our little upper level wave just to the north of the prairie here that's bringing that chance for some snow, again, to areas primarily north of the primary prairie region here. But let's go ahead and bring it back, and we'll watch this next wave coming here right here. This is, again, it gets fairly washed out, but you see this broader trough overall. It's on the north side of that we get a little compact wave. You can kind of see it right here, a small patch of stronger upper level winds. That is just enough to bring some accumulating snow to parts of the prairie, again, in that Wednesday, Thursday time frame. As we head into the weekend, we'll watch another trough. You see it right here, or maybe a little bit further off to the west there. There we go. As we look at things Friday morning, that trough in the Gulf of Alaska, that begins to swing into parts of the prairie, western portions here as we get into the weekend. We'll have to kind of watch how this begins to, or how this actually evolves as we get into the weekend and determine whether or not we're going to be talking about any additional snow. Now we'll talk about the moisture content within the atmosphere, where the moisture for the snow is coming from, and it's from the Pacific. As we watch this wave make its way in here midweek, we'll again watch this coming in here Tuesday and Wednesday. There we see it. Again, it's not very intense, but this little wave of moisture making its way over the Rockies, that is just enough to drop maybe 5 to 10 centimeters of snow across a big chunk of the prairie. We'll then take it into the end of the week. We see things quiet down, but then that next trough here, you see that next wave of moisture starting to make its way in as we get into Friday and Saturday. Big question marks then as far as what that means for the prairie. Looking at the precipitation forecast then, a little bit more intuitive across Canada, taking it into Monday now, watching this first round of snow perhaps north of the prairie, maybe a very light coating here north of Highway 16 as we head through the day into Monday night. Quiet for most of us on Tuesday. The exception could be far southern portions of Alberta. Far southern and western portions of Alberta could see some snowflakes falling here by the time we get to the end of the day on Tuesday. Snow really begins to become more widespread across the prairie here as it expands from west to east along and south of Highway 16 through the day on Wednesday. So most of you across the prairie, Calgary, Edmonton, into Regina, all the way over toward Winnipeg, likely going to be at least seeing some light snow as we head through the day on Wednesday, and perhaps lingering into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, especially across eastern portions here. Winnipeg, maybe some snowflakes early in the day on Thursday, quieting down for much of the rest of the day on Thursday and Friday. Before then, we watch this next wave making its way in as we get into the weekend. So some ensemble forecasts here for total snow accumulation, keeping things generally less than 10 centimeters. This next wave of snow here that moves through again primarily on Wednesday, the potential to drop 5 to 10 centimeters of snow across areas along and south of Highway 16. The European model just a little bit further north with its corridor of snow here, perhaps on the lighter side across parts of southern Saskatchewan, if we're to believe that, but generally across a big chunk of the corridor, and that again includes Edmonton, Calgary, getting into Regina, Saskatoon, and all the way over toward Winnipeg. Expect anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, give or take a couple there on the high and low side as we head through the next 5 days. Now we're going to watch our temperatures do some dropping. Again, temperatures anomalously warm over the last several days, especially over the weekend. We'll see those temperatures beginning to crash as we head through the middle and later part of the week, especially across parts of the east. A big change here. Edmonton, you were above freezing over the weekend. Seeing those temperatures drop into the sub-zero range here as we head through the week. all the way down to near negative 20 to 25 below zero as we get into the weekend. Those are your high temperatures. Calgary, a similar look, temperatures steadily falling as we head through the next 5 to 10 days. Saskatoon, a bit more of a ride here as these little waves make their way through, seeing things a bit warmer here as that Wednesday storm system moves through, dropping back on the backside of that to highs around negative 20. Regina, a similar story, a little bit warmer for the day on Wednesday, but otherwise temperatures cooling off. And then another look at Winnipeg off to the east. Now, you guys didn't even get to really feel the big warm up quite as much as areas were not quite as long lived as areas off to the west, so not such a shock to the system over here, but again, some roller coaster riding being done. High temperatures near zero as we get the week started, dropping down to negative 15 by the time we get to Tuesday, climbing into Thursday, and on the backside of that midweek storm system, temperatures dropping once again for the end of the week. As always, Eric Snodgrass does have a look at the next 1 to 2 weeks in our Monday morning ag forecast video that was posted to the site early this morning. I will be back to talk about the Canadian Prairie once again on Wednesday as we resume our regularly scheduled post-holiday programming. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful start to your week.